Okay, so boom. So Carvana is really going through it. Morgan Stanley downgraded their stock. Yeah, and it actually made a very big impact of what we're already seeing. So I made a video about it, and it breaks down what we're seeing with auto, period, with EV as well as direct to consumer. Speaking of direct to consumer, BMW is another one throwing their name in the hat. So auto is really going through the direct to consumer, which is cutting out companies like Carvana, or CarMax, or even dealerships more so of that. Then when I noticed I got a response to it about the consumer side with the headaches, with the paperwork and titles, and even potentially some lawsuits in the mix, I did commentary on that as well. But I didn't want to just have two different stories or anything going at the same time about them. I am going to post those, but I wanted to do a fusion to kind of do a layup into what we're seeing when it comes to not only Carvana, but the auto sector as well, and how you can utilize that as an investor as well as consumer on knowing how to maneuver what the info that I've given you. That's it. Okay, so boom. So last week I shared this right here. It was pretty much Carvana, known as a pandemic stock. I might tell you a joke, but I never tell you a lie. Well, it went from $300 a share to what we have right here. And I got some inboxes asking, why are we seeing this right here? The first one is that just like you and I was in school and get graded on their stock and what we would call them to be, Morgan Stanley dropped their rating down, which pulled down the share prices alone. What we are seeing within the sector of auto is that a lot of companies are getting more into EV. You've been noticing this with traditional automakers moving more into EV. I'm not saying anything, but also that they're pushing out the middleman, such as Carvana and CarMax. So they're offering more direct to consumer, and yeah, it's getting real over there. But something I want you to keep in mind is that no matter if you're buying stocks in pandemic, meme stocks, or whatever, that you have to learn how they're performing as a company, how they're going to look within the next 5 to 10 years when it comes to their valuation, or just how their operations is looking. But also keep in mind, how does that fit within your portfolio long term and short term? Something else about Carvana that they have $4.4 billion in cash or liquidity to burn. So hopefully this will help them get throughout this little shaky zone. But this is something I want you to keep in mind when you're holding on stocks for too long, you might need a drop down. That's it. Okay, so boom. So thank you for calling this out. I didn't get a chance to talk about Carvana's customer sentiment issues as well as their company operations issues that they're having. Like he called out, their customers are having issues with their title, paperwork, just the whole operations of obtaining a car, but also the volume of used cars available. Interestingly enough, while the value of used cars is going up, the volume is going down, not only for Carvana, but for other companies as well, which is why you're seeing automakers lean more to direct to consumer. But yeah, when it comes to their net promoter score, yeah, they're a little bit in the toilet. When it comes to their operations, they have, while I talked about the cash runway of $4.4 billion, they have a big debt problem as well as operations. So in Q1 of this year, they had $3.28 billion in debt. And then by Q2, they had $6.6 billion in debt. So Carvana really needs to take these 6 to 9 months to figure out how they can stay alive. Will they be acquired? Will they go bankrupt? Will they do a shift around and change or see anything that can help keep them alive? We shall see. But customer sentiment as well as company operations is the reason why we're seeing Carvana in the show that they're in, and why Morgan Stanley more than likely downgraded them was because of that, as well as seeing what's going on in the auto sector as well. Well, thank you. That's it.